Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new Let's Play on Europa Universalis 4. If you guys can't tell, we're going to be playing the third Odyssey mod. The link will be in the description down below, obviously, if you want to go download it yourself. Just make sure, obviously, you know, mod, important that you go to support them. But if you guys don't know, the third Odyssey mod is where essentially we make the third Odyssey, historically, and we flee all the way to the New World, and we set up a new life. Now, the series name is going to be Only God Can Save Us, so I'm assuming a lot of you who are know about this mod know where I'm going to go with that. If you don't, I'm going to obviously leave it a little bit more of a mysterious thing, but someone's probably going to comment in the comment saying, you know, people are fucking assholes, what are you going to do? But let's get straight into it. Because this is a very story-based game, we need to go to the New World, well, straight away. So, welcome to Third Odyssey. The Emperor of Rome looks upon his realm and despairs. To the east lie the lands of the hostile Turks, successors to the Arabs that battered Anatolia in times long past. To the west lie the Serbs and Hungarians, eager to carve up the pieces of a dying empire and expand their own dominion. The Varna Crusaders have been butchered. The legions of Rome once conquered the known world, but that was long ago. A lesser man might quail at these truths. Bionis and his brother Constantinus are not lesser men. While delving into the lands of the Imperial Library for anything that, into the depths of the Imperial Library, for anything that might deliver them from their destruction, the brothers located a hidden cache of information left behind by the exalted former Emperor Alexius Comnenus. The cache contained detailed schematics of drones retrofitted with the deep-sea capabilities of the ancient Roman vessels that piled the treacherous seas between the coast of the Hispania and the land of the Celts in the ages past. And that was intended for the trading expedition to the Varangian of Vinland that never materialized. With them, the two brothers were able to scheme up a plan to hastily retrofit the remnants of the Imperial Navy and to the designs, reinforced with modern construction techniques, and flee west in a new Odyssey, just as the Aeneas fled Troy 3,000 years ago. Books and fire. The Emperor has been approached by his close confidant, Georgios Sifetzes, who argues that we should take it with us what the maidens respecting ages past are learning. The most important books and scrolls, including manuscripts detailing the construction process for truly ocean-worthy vessels, should be collected into a library and given place in the fleet. In addition, a skilled German engineer named Johannes Grandet was able to recreate Greek fire on a limited scale, based on a scroll stored in the hidden cache in the Imperial Library, and requesting that space on the fleet be allotted to sorting the substances and the ingredients used to make it. Such endeavours would be expensive and cost precious space, but they might be worth it. Right, let's get the preparing. We're going to 4-speed until we get there. The Silk of the Empire. The Emperor Anunis' cousin, Theolopius Palaiologos, mathematician, grammarist, and second in line for the throne behind the Emperor's brother Constantinus, has requested that the vast silk reserve of the Roman Empire and the resources required to producing it be collected into our westbound fleet. Silk, he says, has long been the garment of royalty and empire, and would make a fine luxury trade good as well. Such would cost us precious space, though, and we may need all of the people and supplies we can get. At the very least, he requested that if we do not take the silk along, that we instead destroy it to prevent the Ottoman Sultanate from discovering and producing its methods. Okay. The fate of the Marian Despot. One final question remains in regard to our holdings. While we resigned to Constantinople falling to the Turks, we can still decide the fate of our southern holdings. The Republic of Venice is attempting to build an empire in the eastern Mediterranean, and they would be grateful for a hold over the strong defensive positions of the southern highlands. A delegation from the Republic of Genoa, headed by a certain Archbishop Leonard of Chios, has expressed a desire to increase their economic penetration of the Aegean and Black Sea, something that could easily be accomplished by selling the despot of Morea to the Genoa. Finally, we could grant the direct independence of the Crimean despot under the leadership of the Emperor's brother, Theodoros. So, I think what we're going to go for is this is all new. They've changed so much since I've last played this. I really don't know which I want. I'm going to sell the province to Genoa. I think that'll help me because of the plan where I intend to go with my... you'll understand when we get there. A pair of Venetian captains who sold their vessels for usage on the journey have recently approached the Emperor and his advisors, stating that to cross the Atlantic Ocean, the Romans would need more than just a fleet of galleasses and small caravels. One of the merchant captains, Gabriel Treviso, has requested that a portion of our rapidly dwindling treasure be set aside to purchase the latest in Italian and Portuguese ships designs to replace the less seaworthy ships in the Roman Navy, as well as to hire expert Mediterranean navigators and sailors able to, and to retrofit our older designs with modern weapons. We'll have to consider their plans at least. The final checklist. We've gone through all the plans and looked at every available option to us. Now is the time to finalise our decisions and choose how much of our limited space we should devote to the non-essentials. So bringing silk, in my opinion, is extremely important. And so is the books. The Venetian captains? No. I think the books and silk should be enough for it. Wait, what do the books and silk give me? I'm going to leave the books, I'm going to take the Greek fire, and that's what we're going to set sail with. This is a very atypical, but it's, I'm going to, essentially, I intend to use the Greek fire to quickly dominate the natives, hopefully. We'll see. Rebels and exiles. An Ottoman prince born here in exile after his grandfather's defeat in a failed attempt for the Ottoman throne has heard of our plans to quit the city of the world's desire and sail to Vinland. The man, Orhan Celebi, has never returned to the Ottoman Empire and implied a threat of an execution for his grandfather's crimes. Needless to say, his fears for such a punishment at the hands of his cousin, Mohammed, and his request that the ship be allocated to him and his regiment of retainers. In return, he promises to train the Roman army, such as it is, in the advanced tactics of the feared Janissary Corps, and also offers his personal services as the general in the Roman service. In addition, a former Ottoman officer named George Castroi, called Skanderberg. Okay, yeah, that's a bit weird. He has two names, whatever. Has rebelled from Turkish service and has travelled to the city in the search for support. He's also learned of our impending flight and has requested that some of his people be allowed to board. Unfortunately, there's only enough space left on our transports for one group. Either Skanderberg or Orhan Celebi must stay behind in the doomed city. Both men have promised not to share our plans to the enemies, come what may. Out of the two of them, I kind of like the idea of a promise of being Janissaries a little bit more than the Albanians. The Albanians haven't really promised us anything. I'm going to allow Orhan Celebi, I think. If he takes control over Constantinople and wins, then, well, it could be a problem when we get back. I'm going to allow Orhan Celebi, I'm going to allow his retinue on board. Grenadian pirates. Hearing of the approach of our fleet, a large Grenadian force drew up near the gates of Heracles to force us to pay for safe passage. Enticed by the promise of loot, a contingent from Morocco also sailed in support of the Grenadian fleet. We could pay the toll, or we could force a straight sea battle. We might still take losses, but the Roman navy is still one of the best in the Mediterranean. Ooh. We'll set them alight with Greek fire. That way we only lose some of it. The Portuguese wish to strike a deal. 2 Portuguese ships sailed near our fleet today with an envoy. The leader states that one of their ships and accompanying supplies can be used by us on our travels if we agree to share our discoveries with them. They are under the impression that we are heading south to explore the coast of Africa. One of our advisors suggested that we use this opportunity to trick the nations of Europe, making them believe that we are caught up in a series of increasingly treacherous storms filled with sea monsters and that our last act was to inform them. That way it may take some time, take some generations before their curiosity returns. Alternatively, we can inform the Portuguese of our true intentions, providing us with a potential ally future ally in Europe. Yeah, I'm gonna send them a forwarding message. Fuck them. Let's keep going. Go down to free speed now because we're getting very close to the New World bit. Okay, who gives a shit about that? Are you a vassal of Maria? Yeah, you are. Genoa, sorry, no. Maria is a vassal of Genoa. Not Maria isn't a vassal of Maria. A storm approaches. For several weeks we had calm seas and good sailing. Sadly, all good things must end, and we've encountered a large storm that swamped our fleet. Our only refuge was a relatively calm section in the centre, and we were able to regroup there for a time. The brave captains from Italy and Portugal provided their worth in leading us safely out of the storm for good. But after taking stock of the surviving ships, we've been informed that in addition to the Emperor falling ill, several of the ships have been blown off course, including... It took the royal ship. A great catastrophe has occurred. After surviving the great storm, a number of crew throughout the fleet became stricken with phthisis, or tuberculosis. I don't know if I'm saying that right, I'm just hoping I am. Despite the best efforts of our greatest physicians, Emperor Ionis VIII also fell ill, victim to the disease. While some say it is just an unfortunate tragedy, others say that it's divine punishment for fleeing Constantinople in its darkest hour. Fucking hell, my words aren't working today. I do apologise. Ionis VIII's brother, Constantinus, has been crowned emperor and will finish what his brother started. Good luck to him. The Pantheon worship. The storm lies a few days behind us now, leaving many at the edge of despair. The venerable scholar and philosopher Gemistios Plephion asked to see you, and you invite him into your quarters. He is a very learned man, renowned for his wisdom and knowledge, and has served as an imperial advisor in the past. So it seems strange that all of the men who would suggest such a thing return to worshiping the old gods, the Roman and Hellenic gods. He says he studied our history and noticed a downward trend ever since the first emperor converted to Christianity. He states that despite being the servants of God, he did not help defend Jerusalem or Constantinople from the Muslims, and the recent storm can only illustrate the temper of Poseidon. If there are gods, he continued, that they must be as flawed and ill-tempered as the old Hellenic gods. We would do best to appease them rather than speak to a god that may listen but does not seem to care. It's a good one. He's funny. He's a joker. He's a joker, that guy. Good joker. I think the map we're going to be about here, I think it is. In a second. Oh, I was close. Holy shit. Despite everything, despite all the hardships, toil, battles, storms, and plagues, we succeeded. We have successfully arrived in the Rengain's western land. Truly, such a verdant land beyond the pillars of Heracles can only be the Elysium from ancient myth. It is only now, however, that the cost becomes apparent. Every scrap of technology, every single book from the Imperial Library, every scroll detailing schematics or architecture or mathematics is one less bushel of wheat and one less person we could have taken. On top of that, the Ottoman Turks have probably already invaded what is left of our homeland. So, flagship named Aegea Phaeotic becomes available for duty in Elysia. With the adequate supplies we brought along on our voyage and some rationing, we managed to minimize the loss of lives before we even got here, and thanks to that of our people are already hard at work in our first establishment. So we gained 1 base manpower and migrant nation modifier. Our commanders are also good at work assembling a missional force. We gained 3 regiments and an additional 2,000 men in reserve. All things considered, our flight will left our already declining nation a shadow of its former self. No merchant class, constrained resource sources, and no manpower shortage. And we apparently instantly debased our currency, so gonna instantly have to deal with that. Forgotten homelands. We are no longer aware of what goes on in our ancient homelands. Now oblivious to the old world, we can focus on the new world ahead of us. Eager explorers. The lands we have discovered still remain mostly unknown, but that did not stop our explorers who had much trouble exploring the area around our capital. We now need to select a thing, which will be the native coexistence. New lands, old faith. The priests and deacons who came with us on our journey across the sea are using their position in the community to help keep our people united in the face of great hardships, holding sermons and offering aid to those who need it. Even if they use their influence to steal some small authority from us, we must admit that we need their help. And we're going to need to colonize there. We've got 5,000 men. Nice. We've got a stranded religion, which I can accept. We are going to be losing money for a while. We're not currently paying for our army, which is fine. If we seek support of the clergy, that could help us make a little bit more money. But we'll do what we need to do. Yeah, we're getting a lot of people, so it shouldn't take too long at all for us to get there. The Powhatan. We have fought several skirmishes with the local native populace, but now we have the opportunity to conduct diplomacy with them. One of their tribes, named Powhatan, has expressed a lust for our silver and our spears. We also have the need to expand our territory beyond our little harbour. Perhaps we could come to an accord with them in the future, where they might migrate south in exchange for some of our wealth and our weapons of war. It would be an effective way to conserve our critically low manpower. The problem is they hate us because we are not the correct religion. And we've got Salvaging the Fleet, so just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to quickly begin trying to get these guys on my side. You're the guys to the north of me, aren't you? No, wait. Who the fuck? I don't know who the fuck you are, so go away. Why? How much do you hate me? Well, I have a bigger army than you, so fuck off. Well, I don't, but I will do. Salvaging the Fleet. Upon unloading the last of the cargo from the remaining ships, our sailors realised that our fleet had taken much more damage in the storm than we originally thought, and it is in need of urgent repair. There is a debate occurring among the people on the influence of repairing the fleet at all, as it will be expensive to repair and maintain. The alternative is that we break down the ships for wood, which we can then use to help build the local infrastructure, such as roads, housing, or building a basic wooden palisade around the settlement to help protect us from further incursions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the basic building infrastructure. So we have Alicia's get a little bit better, because Alicia needs it. Court factions. Oh, that's just a typical, Byzantium one. We can ignore that. How much money will it take? It takes 120, or if we own 5 cities, it takes 60. The problem is, they don't like me very much. I'm going to set a neutral stance to them. I'm going to see if we can... Wow, you rivaled me. They could... See, if they were rivaled with them too, they'd like me more. I don't know who you are, but for now I'm going to agree to ally with you, just to save my skin a little bit. I'm not going to issue a gift to these guys just yet, but it shouldn't take our colonies long. So we're going to go to 4 speed for now because, well, there's not much for us to do, so it makes more sense to go on 4 speed for a while. So if we get these colonies set up nice and quickly. Eager settlers. Holy shit, it actually tells us about eager settlers now. It never used to tell you how long you had it. So whoever guys on this mod, ladies and gentlemen, if you want this mod, please go download it. Or just go tell them that mod's awesome. Because they've really, really built this mod up so much. Like, none of this I remember. Like, this, I don't know if this has changed, but it was in the game originally. Advancement of the... Yeah, that's just a normal event. The mission tree. Yep, still got the 3 paths. The heir of Justinian, looking inwards, or a world empire. So cool. I don't know which one of those I'm going to be doing. I just know there's 2 that I'm going to... It's only one of 2 I'm going to try. One of them we've done before, and I'm not going to be doing it. Local natives observe ceremony. A native scouting party has observed our ceremony, and it would be these guys as well, wouldn't it? Fuck. And we're terrified by the displays of smoke, the clothing, and the sincere songs. Or serene songs. Serene? No, sincere. They have returned to their leaders believing we are demons, or demon worshippers, and the clan is treating us differently ever since. So, note to self, buying the land from them, not going to happen. We do have summon militia, which is means if we ever when we're at war, we should be fine. We should be able to get enough men to protect us. Oof. Paying for our army is a bit expensive right now, though, so let's not do that. I do have a we haven't consolidated our rights, so we can't do anything about with that. Decadence. How can we be decadent? Just gonna smash my stability up so I can get more money. Yeah, we need these to be done quickly. Like, being rivaled right now is not helping. It's not making me feel confident. Organising the masses. We now have time, and we now have established a basic settlement. It isn't pretty or that large, but it is our home now. We have established a basic militia for defending the town. Set aside some land for farming. Clear the local fortress for wood. The overseers that run these projects are requesting more workers. However, there are not enough for all of them. Where should we send the peasants? Production. Because we took the silk rivers? Production. We need to build up our production very, very... Oh, you fucking... you claim my land. Well, seeing as I'm not going to try and help you, I am going to... I'm going to have this general, but I will switch to Constantinius if I need him. That province should be done soon. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it won't be done in this part. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the beginning of this series. It's going to last us a while, and I will say that this is not replacing the Iron Man series. There will be an Iron Man series in the future. I'm just waiting for the new updates to come out. So do not worry about that. It will be out soon. Just don't worry. But I hope you guys have enjoyed, like I said, and if you want the mod, description, it'll be in the description down below. It's a good mod, really well made, and honestly, it just keeps getting better. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next part. See you guys then.